There's a new horror film available on streaming called Speak No Evil. For fans of the horror thriller genre, you may have heard about this film earlier this year when it premiered at Sundance and got a lot of discussion about it. This film is from a Denmark filmmaker named ChristianTafdrup, and this film follows a Danish family who visits a Dutch family they meet on a holiday, and what is supposed to be a relaxing weekend slowly starts unraveling as the Danes try to stay polite in the face of unpleasantness. Unpleasantness is a key word for this movie because I found this movie very unpleasant, but maybe not for the reasons you will think. So, thank you for watching this channel. My name is Ben Friedman here from the Beniverse, and welcome to my review of the new horror film available on Shudder streaming service, Speak No Evil. So, Speak No Evil. I saw this movie this morning. This movie is available on the streaming service Shudder, which specializes in the horror genre. This film is not a film that I would necessarily classify as a traditional horror film, although this film is very disturbing. Speak No Evil is a lot of things, and the first thing that it is the most is disturbing. This film is truly disturbing on every account of the word. I had so much trouble watching this film. It is only a little over 95 minutes, and yet throughout the runtime, I was left just my skin crawling watching this movie. This is not a typical horror film in the fact that it isn't full of gruesome imagery. It isn't filled of murder. It doesn't even have like any demonic possession, anything like that. Some of the stuff that you expect from the traditional horror films, that is not present within Speak No Evil. But this film is truly evil. From beginning to end, there's something so unpleasant about what you're watching and experience. I had a knot in my stomach the entire time watching this film, and I truly hated watching my experience, and that's to the benefit of this film. Tafdrup, the director of this film, does a great job of creating natural tension, and it is nothing groundbreaking or just shocking in its reveals. This isn't a film where it's just like one moment you're just like, what? How did that come? There's not these twists. It's just these little tweaks that the characters do when the Dutch family starts speaking to the Denmark family. Just the little small interactions that they have that make it more disturbing. Kind of think of this, if there was an American equivalent to this film, it is the film Get Out, Jordan Peele's Get Out, except this film is about 500% more effed up in every way imaginable. Even though I struggled to watch this movie, even though I hated watching multiple scenes within this film, I was never able to criticize the actual pacing, the actual tension, and the actual direction that this film was taken in. This is largely due to the actors who plays the Danish family, whose characters are Born, Louise, and Agnes. They are all really good. It just feels all so real. And again, it's none of these things where it's just like, you're never really yelling at the characters to get out, because you're just like, okay, this is just a small thing. Maybe they forgot this. For instance, there's a scene where the wife, Louise, she's a vegetarian. And one of the earliest scenes in the movie is the Dutch family. They're like, oh, you really need to try this boar meat. And like, you can tell she's uncomfortable, but it's just kind of this societal politeness to just accept what you're being served, and she doesn't cause a fit. But it's these little interactions like that that convey the horror, because the more and more they build up, the more and more they get under your skin. This film is successful because it got under my skin and just made me feel so uncomfortable while watching this movie. ChristianTafdrup's direction is not flashy in any way. It feels intimate. You're watching these things that you feel like you shouldn't be watching at times from a distance, from times up close. It just feels like you're there, and it feels very naturalistic in its direction choice, much again to the benefit of this film. I cannot recommend Speak No Evil. This film is going to disturb 90 to 95% of the audience who go out and see it. What I will say, though, is this is a great horror thriller film, and it is one that is way too disturbing. It's one that I have no enjoyment in watching, and it's one that I can't recommend for that, but I can also say that that's kind of the goal of this movie. I wasn't supposed to have a good time watching this movie. It's just so sadistic. It's so sickening. Speak No Evil is a film that I couldn't watch and also couldn't take my eyes off of. It was such an uncomfortable, unpleasant viewing experience that I can never recommend anyone to endure this. However, what I will say is this is a masterful direction, intention, in performances, and just in capturing something that feels so personal, it feels so real, and it's saying something larger about society and the ideas of societal politeness and where that has to end and where you have to trust your instincts. Speak No Evil is going to divide audiences. Some people are going to think it's too sadistic and falls more in the category of torture porn, and others are going to see it as a great psychological thriller. I don't know where I fall. When I'm watching this movie, I can respect the psychological thriller, and I also think there's a level of a film where I just see something so cruel that I never want to experience that again. And that's where I am on this movie. It is a well-made movie that I never want to touch and look or think about again. And in that case, it's a successful film. I have to give Speak No Evil 3 out of 4 stars. Anyway, that's my review of this film. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to the Beneverse. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.